Hey, what's up, guys? And Scribble here. This game, I want to show you guys how to deal with the Farseer, harass, and headhunters early game, because you know it's a strategy that's very popular nowadays. That's basically played almost in every game against Undead. And you know, since you know Undeads, they play fast DK with only skeleton to creep early. It cannot be like really always easy to deal with so many headhunters early. So I'm gonna show you guys what a replay that I had in ladder recently. I can say so. Just to show you guys, you know, how to react to a Farseer and what you should do. So let's just jump right into it. So you know, I'm just basically opening normally, you know, with the altar, the zig, the crypt. So this is going to be for more advanced Undead players who already know, you know, the build that I'm doing right now. And you know, nothing crazy, you know, like I just pretend that I don't know he's gonna play Headhunter, even though I know that he's going to play that because that's only what he does, and that's all pretty much what every org does nowadays too. So let's just see my vision, you know. So you know, I'm scouting, I'm killing the critters because I need the critter for skeletons, you know, like we all know that, right? So my start is like as simple as it gets, you know, I'm just scouting. And I'm gonna show you guys, you know, how I react pretty much. So I scout this, I see a barrack, and I see an altar, and I see a Farseer, you know. So I know sorry about that. So I know that, you know, he's going to play Headhunters, and because I scout a War Mill and I scout the barrack, and I see a Farseer going to me. So I know that a Farseer is coming. So what do? Do I just keep in my base and I don't do anything? No, you can't creep. Can you creep the entire camp though? No, you can't. But you can get the most important part of the of the creeps though, aka the item. So this is what I'm gonna do here. So what I do is I just pretend that like he's not even coming. I throw the coil on the creep, which is very standard even if you're not getting harassed early. And then what I do is as soon as the creep dies, I grab the item and I leave. And also I want you guys to notice that as soon as I saw the Farseer, I made a tower in my base. Tower is very important. The tower literally like blocks any access for the Farseer to harassing your acolytes. If he still tries to do that, you have your goals to defend, which is more than enough to save your acolytes. Your attack will be a little bit more slower by getting the tower, but you're going to save the hassle of having to micro your acolytes and just being on standby in your base. So here's where it gets interesting though, you know. So now, you know, I grab the item and, you know, he's probably very happy because he's got a trapper to creep for himself. And he probably think that he's going to do a good trick here. But no, he's not going to do anything good here because let me show you. So what I do is I run because I know there's a critter over here so I can get 2 more skeletons. So now I have 3 skeletons and my DK total. So this is more than enough to creep whatever I want. So what I can do here is I can creep the priest. I can get maybe an illusion here. But instead, I prioritize those items over here because you can get a claw, you can get a circlet, you can get a glove. And those items are really good on your lich later on. So I know that he's also going Headhunters. So Headhunters are really slow. They are as slow as Fiend pretty much. So we both have our heroes early game. So it means that he's also as weak as me pretty much. So what I do is I run to his side of the map and I go steal his item. Once again, nothing crazy. I don't throw a million coil at the creep. I only throw 1. And basically I'm trying to bait the trapper to ensnare the Headhunter. I don't want him to steal the creep. And I end up stealing it. Now I have 2 items to start with, you know. Yes, he has like, yeah, he stole my trapper, but so what? We have the same amount of XP here, except I have 2 items, and he doesn't. So honestly, like going aggressive creeping like that, you can do that on Echo Isles. You can do it on Amazonia. You can do it on Last Refuge. You can do it on Conceal Hills. So it's not only like something that you do only on Last Refuge. And I'll tell you what, man, like, I don't see many people do this. So if you do that, most likely the guy's gonna be surprised and it always, like, be a good thing. So what you do here is I go back to my side of the map because at this point, you know, this guy has straight hunter. I'll only have 2 skeleton, I have 1 fiend. So my goal here is to creep level 2 because with DK, you always want to get level 2 as soon as possible. But the same thing here, you know. I creep on my side of the map. I know that he might be potentially coming back again. So rather than instead of going for a very hard camp, I go for the Murlocs because this is the easiest camp to do. You know, after the gold mine and after the priest. I mean, before the gold mine. So what I do is I go for another items. So those items are non-consumable. So maybe here I could get like a +3 intelligence or a +3 slipper or something. So like, this guy knows that he's really strong early, so that's why he's trying to apply some map control. And we both get a level 2 here. And don't worry, like, it's normal to like not be able to fight early. Like, this is normal. Like, this is what Undead is. Undead is very weak early game, but you know, her late game is pretty good with her heroes and her army. So once again, you know, I get the item and I get out, and once again he is stuck creeping the rest of the camp. And look, I got 3 items there, man. We're pretty much starting to get that inventory pretty stacked up. So now I know that his goal is to steal my creeps on the side of the map, to later on force me to be more aggressive and come on the side of the map, which is never something you want to do, really. And that's what he's gonna do, you know. And now I check the gold mine and I see that he's not creeping yet. And I see that he's creeping this. So I'm gonna try to cut this in a little bit. And I still creep. I get a headhunter. I still another creep with a coil. So the goal is, you know, don't fight before he has started to creep, you know. When he creeps, now you can play aggressive because he's taking damage from the creeps, and he's he might get ensnared, and he might get some kills here and there. So at this point, you know, I go back to my base, I get some more rods, you know, I'm 30 food. As soon as I get to tier 2, I go tier 3 right away. I get my lich, I get my slaughterhouse. And now I kind of have an idea that he might be creeping my gold mine here. So what I do is, instead I make something good out of that situation, and I go for a more important camp. The shop, pretty much. And by pulling back the creep, if he comes from the side and he creeps jack me, I'll be able to run away because I pull the creep. And if he comes from behind you, it's not much of a big deal because my second row is out. I can pretty much fight. You know, nobody's really good against the headhunters. So same thing here, you know, I creep, you try to contest. He's really strong at this side of the game. And this is where, you know, I get a bit surprised, okay? Usually when they play headhunter, they play TC second. But this guy plays Shadowhunter to have like a really... So Shadowhunter really relies on like having a really good early. This hero doesn't scale too well late game. And basically he surprised me. He gets a kill. And now I know that the fact that it has a Shadowhunter, I cannot be aggressive anymore. I have to be defensive until I get tier 3. Until I get my horde, pretty much. As you can see here, I'm playing a little bit scared. Like, it's okay to be in your base and not do anything for a while. It's perfectly fine. So what I do here is I go for the golem creep. You know, as you can see, I pull the creep once again. I'm close to my base. I don't go for the goal for these camps or his shop. Just you know, one statue. I got 4 fiend. Tier 2 just reached. A second statue. I'm making my zig. So as standard as it gets, you know. By the way, always put your intelligence items on your lich most of the time. Get your claws on lich. Lich is the highest DPS dealer of the Undead army. So now I use skeleton to scout, and I see that he's there now, right? He just killed a skeleton. So I see that he's coming to me because his goal is to play aggressive. He's got an ensnare to log the units. He's got an X. So I know that with Shadowhunter, his entire goal is to get map control. So what I'm going to do here is just going back to my base, and I'm going to play very defensively. I'm just going to creep the lab. And the lab's a really good creep to go at tier 3. It's kind of a hard camp to do, but when you have the orb, you can do it really much more quicker. And you're also creeping it in your base. So he's basically just like a little bit of wasting time right now. He's like trying to creep jack me. And once again, he's playing very smart. He's making something good out of a bad situation. He tried to play aggressive, and he see me backs up. So he's like, oh, well, ends up is scared. He's back in his base. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to steal the biggest camp on the map, aka the red camp. And that's what he does. So, you know, he still has like a really good adaptation to what I'm doing. And now I want to solo creep my lich. So, against Headhunters, you know, Headhunters are very squishy units. And basically, when we have AoE damage such as Impale and Nova, you really rely on those spells to be able to kill those units. So that's what I'm doing here. You know, I'm creeping with my lich. I'm getting more Fiend. I'm getting the Destroyer. Very useful to dispel the X. So against Headhunter, you know, I highly recommend playing the Dark Ranger. For a while, I was playing the Pit Lord. But Dark Ranger is really good because basically every time she kills a unit, she gets she makes a skeleton out of the kill, aka the Black Arrow. So you don't go Silence first, you go Black Arrow. And like I said, with the AoE, you kill units really quick. So basically, with a Black Arrow, you'll be able to finish those kills that your Nova helps you get, and basically you're going to sack a bunch of skeleton throughout the fight. And those skeletons are going to be extremely good against the Headhunter because skeleton, you know, does extra damage to the Headhunters. So same here. A bit of creeping, you know. Make sure you have your Black Arrow when you're creeping as well, so you have more skeleton. Now check this, equip this. So the army is as simple as it gets. Fiend, Destroyer, statues, I mean. You know, I do upgrades. So nothing too out of the ordinary. It's very, very standard army. What I do different than you probably do is I play more defensive. And I get a Dark Ranger, and you probably maybe get a Crypt Lord or a Pit Lord or something. So now I know that I'm really strong. So what I do is I try to contest this guy. And I get more skeleton, you know, as I'm creeping. And now I got a Scroll of the Beast, and I got a Book of the Dead. So I know that, you know, I'm in a good shape to fight here. Also, I scout. I still a creep, by the way, with a skeleton. I try to go for this burrow here. There's a little bit of a useless push here. That was not the smartest push by me. Like, you see how much skeleton I'm starting to stack here. This is really important. And honestly, against Orc, the more you creep, the better it is. Because once you get the Dark Ranger level 3, basically when you have Black Arrow level 2, this is where it gets serious. And now you have Silence, and you have these level 2 skeleton, which are absolutely no joke against the Headhunters. It's how you have like a better goal, pretty much. And basically when you're around 55 supply, and you have like 5 Fiend and a statue, like you have 5-6 Fiend, a statue for healing, and a Destroyer for the Wolves and the Spirit Walkers if they have any, or the X. This is where you can have an Abomination with Disease Cloud. So Disease Cloud is going to be a really great hat when you have the Nova attacking the Headhunters, because not only do you have AoE damage on the Headhunters, you also have another AoE damage with the Disease Cloud. So they have like a lot of damage that is spread throughout this army. And yeah, you know, I just keep creeping. I throw a coil on the creeps because I fear that I might get jacked. You know, I leave a ward over here. I have skeletons over here in case he's coming. But you know, the ward is doing most of the job, so I know I get to be ready when he's coming to jack me. And let's say he was coming to jack me, I could just sit on the hill right there and have uphill fights. Which is always good in Warcraft 3 because you have vision and he doesn't. And also some attacks are will just miss pretty much. You know, my Lich my shots are pretty good here. I got the 2 globes. Always tag your damage at him, as I said, on your Lich. The reason why I left the ward here is because I needed slot for an inventory. Alright. So, this is where, you know, the fight gets interesting. This is not the best fight by me. But, you know, this is where the magic happens, pretty much. So, this is 59 supply against 68. So, his army is much, much, much more stronger than mine, right? The thing is that I have hero levels, I have upgrades, and I have some pretty decent items. So let's just watch the fight how it goes, right? So what I prioritize here is I prioritize Headhunters because Headhunters are really quick to die. So the more skeletons I get, the stronger I get. So if I start going for the Walkers, which is a bit harder to kill, or the Redders, it takes me more time to kill it, and I get less skeleton throughout the fight, which is not what you want. Also, the Kudu can be a really good snipe as well. I don't want to forget the TC because he has an invul. I heal the Abomination. Abomination is basically the thing of the fight. Usually, he's going to attack it first because he does extra damage on the Headhunters. But yeah, this is really hard. Like, I don't believe, like, this is really hard to play against. This is a really hard strat. Nova here uses the invul. A little bit of a messy fight. Yeah, honestly had such an advantage here. You know, I went for the TC because his mana was kind of drawn to head on a Shadowhunter. His TC was kind of out of position as well. And you know, this is why I started focusing Headhunters. The walk is a bit out of position, so I go for it. Yeah, like you see, like the skeletons are starting to stack up. You know, it's very, very important to have your Dark Ranger creep level 3, and you want to go for a creeping game, which I was fine with. Of course, I get sniped there. By the way, those rings, you know, you might be tempted to sell them later on, but those rings are really good right now on my DK, you know. Not only do I have Frost Armor, and I have only Aura to heal myself, and the statues, I have +7 armor, so it makes it like so much more harder for my DK to die. Just look at this here. Look at how much he's trying to attack it. Here you go. Attack it, attack it. He made me take a lot of damage here. Once again, the Hunter are my main target with a Kudu. Hey, there you go. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this replay playthrough. I hope this helps you a little bit. You know, the ending fights were a little bit messy, but I hope you know that it helps you, you know, how to handle with the early, the mid game, and you know how to basically make something useful with the fact that he's doing Headhunter and it's a very slow build. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you want to see next. And I hope you guys enjoy the video, and thumb it up if you like it. Thumb it down if you don't like it. And I'll see you guys in the next video, alright? Thanks so much, guys. Much love, and have a good one.